It's Friday, the 28th of January. Good morning, Europe. A very warm welcome to the programme. Let's begin by looking at our top stories.
US President Joe Biden has reiterated his support to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in a conversation last night over a possibility of a Russian invasion. Could there be new medication to fight COVID-19? The EMA has conditionally approved a Pfizer pill for patients who don't need oxygen ventilation. And grannies on TikTok have reached more than 10,000 followers after ladies in northern Italy took to social media during the lockdowns.
US President Joe Biden has reinstated America's support to Ukraine after he spoke to the President Volodymyr Zelensky Thursday evening. The call was focused around military assurances and economic support. Russia says it's willing to continue negotiations despite NATO allies rejecting Moscow's demands. The US is also threatening Russia with pulling the plug on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline.
Thanks, Ned. With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock is already against the pipeline and said she may support a halt to Nord Stream's infrastructure. The issue already divides opinion in Berlin and will bring tension to the German coalition. Meanwhile, Chancellor Olaf Scholz will meet Biden on February 7th. A Kremlin spokesman told reporters the West's reaction left little ground for optimism, but added there are always grounds for dialogue. Moreover, the government in Kiev insists the threat of an invasion is not any bigger than it has been in previous years.
Ukraine is betting on continuous support from the West and hopes certain countries may increase the pressure on Moscow in order to protect this nation's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And while we're hearing that civil defense units have started training across the country to support the army in case of a Russian invasion, and that the defense ministry here in Ukraine has plans to arm some 130,000 people who are part of these defense units, the vast majority of the residents of Kiev I've met today say they hope that diplomacy can prevail. And that includes Ukraine's former Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk, who I met today, and who told me about his views on the international community's efforts to find a solution to this crisis.
I still believe that the Western world can deter Putin. Otherwise, if Putin goes with the full-fledged invasion and conquers Ukraine, this would be a disaster for the European Union and for NATO. This would be a disaster for the entire free world, and this would be a success for autocratic regimes like Putin's regime and his allies.
Yatsenyuk also said he was happy with the role Europe has been playing, but that he hoped for more cohesion on Germany's decision not to provide Ukraine with weapons, for example. He struck a rather serious tone.
It's in the national interest of Germany not to have the conflict in Europe. Otherwise, what is to happen to German people? They will pay more for gasoline, for electricity. Their financial system will be in a disarray. They will need to pay more as a military expenditures to increase their military budget. They will face another wave of refugees. So if I say, please, our German friends, be more committed, show your guts, you have these guts, help Ukraine, and helping Ukraine, you're helping yourself. This is my message to our German friends.
So the 5,000 helmets simply don't cut it?
Do your best not to allow Russian bullets to shoot into the Ukrainian soldiers, because these helmets won't help this.
Yatsenyuk also warned that it's the stability of the whole of Europe that is at stake right now, and that the entire world now has a mission to avoid another war on European soil. Annelies Borges from Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, for Euronews.
A new treatment will be added to fight COVID-19. The European Medicines Agency has conditionally approved the Pfizer pill for patients that don't require oxygen ventilation. Italy, Germany and Belgium are among the countries that have already bought the drug. The medication has been cleared in the US and in the UK in December. It follows surges of the Omicron in Europe. Romania has seen the number of cases spike in the weeks. Across the country, there are over 730 patients in intensive care. There are hospitals that want their patients to be transferred as they don't have doctors or enough beds. The situation has become difficult in Russia, where the rise of infection among children is worrying authorities. Moscow has seen hospitalizations of youngsters with COVID-19 grow tenfold in recent weeks. The emergency ministry dispatched workers to disinfect the Leningradsky railway station. In Ukraine, over 32,000 new coronavirus infections have been reported, the highest number since the beginning of the pandemic. The virus killed 154 people in the country in 24 hours, bringing the country's total death toll close to 100,000.
The government lifted most COVID-19 restrictions in England on Thursday, claiming the vaccine booster rollout had significantly reduced serious illness. Face masks are no longer required, and the legal need for certificates to access nightclubs and other large venues has been scrapped.
Yeah, it feels like it's been ages. It's still a little bit scary. I always keep a mask on me still anyway, but it's a massive relief because it's been, nearly 2 years, and being trapped inside or being restricted outside, it's just been exhausting, especially for someone my age. So yeah, it's a big relief. It's still a bit scary, but no, it's nice.
In Denmark, all restrictions will be lifted from February 1st, and there's a mixture of relief and fear in the air. Some people are really happy, others not so much. We don't have to stop the mask. We don't have to. But why shouldn't we? Because I think it's too early. There are far too many people still infected. I don't think it's okay. Marseille was just one of several cities in France where strikers took to the streets. Teachers and other public sector workers are asking for higher salaries, but they're also angry at the government's handling of the pandemic. The management of the health crisis has made our work terribly complicated. The schools in Marseille, the teachers fall like dominoes.
Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower. Control.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second out.
Five people have been arrested by the anti-drug service in Serbia after 300 kilograms of marijuana was seized. The arrests were made when the suspects were trying to hand over the narcotics. 87 packages of the drugs were discovered being transported from Albania.
A Boston hospital in the US is defending itself after a man's family claimed he was denied a new heart for refusing the COVID-19 vaccination. Brigham and Women's Hospital says it is following its policy, adding that given the shortage of organs, it is acting in the best interest to supply organs to those who have the best chance of survival.